From Tatooine to Mustafa, the best of the Outer Rim, it's the one and only Star Bazaar, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Star Bazaar. Today we have a Battlefront 2 news update to go over, one that has some pretty interesting information about the end of round matchmaking, as well as some quality of life improvements coming to Battlefront 2. Let's check it out. First off, as some of you may have already noticed, the spawn timer for the squad system has been removed in Galactic Assault and Strike in honor of the spawn timer event this weekend. I'm really happy about this because the spawn timer felt like a completely unnecessary addition to the squad feature, and it really killed the pacing of matches, especially Galactic Assault. There is now no timer at all for this weekend, and as soon as you get back to the spawn menu, you will be able to spawn back in either on a squad mate or using the default spawn option. Let me know in a comment how you feel about this. I'm interested in hearing any positive thoughts anybody had about the timer because I honestly had none, and I really hope this gets made a permanent feature after this weekend. Moving on, still on the topic of the squad system, at the end of this month, specifically with the Grievous update, the Battlefront 2 squad system will be seeing a small revamp which will allow for standard troopers like the Assault and Officer to spawn on heroes and special units. When the squad system first dropped, we could actually do this, but due to the fact heroes were spawning on their squad mates and leaving certain objectives impossible for the other team to cap due to unbalance, this feature was removed, as was troopers spawning on heroes. At this point in time, troops can only spawn on other troops, but the only fix that was really needed was removing the ability for heroes to spawn on troops. As it is now, it's pretty difficult to use the spawn system when 90% of the time your squad is either in combat or using a vehicle, hero, or special unit. This fix coming with the Grievous update should address this and make it a bit easier to use the squad system. Our community manager, Ben Walk, replied to another Battlefront YouTuber, my boy Rivatems, out on Twitter with this response, saying that the changes are coming with the Grievous update. So once Grievous is out, troopers will be able to spawn on heroes and special units, and heroes and special units will only be able to spawn using the default option like they do now. Up next, we have another end-of-round matchmaking test coming to Battlefront 2, starting today actually, Friday, October 12th. This test will be a bit different from the previous tests we've had because this one will span over the course of a few days all throughout this weekend, and will only allow for play on certain maps on certain days. The team is splitting up the map rotation in order to more effectively gauge the results of this test on individual maps. Each mode will have its own rotation of maps on each day this weekend, meaning some maps will be unplayable depending on which day this weekend you are playing. I won't go over each day and mode simply because that would be a lot of maps to name off on different days and it could get confusing, so I will leave the dev post linked in the description so you can see what maps are available for which modes on each day. Just as an example though, I will list off the maps for Galactic Assault on each day, just since it's the most popular mode. Today, in Galactic Assault, we are only able to play the 3 prequel-era maps, Naboo, Kamino, and Kashyyyk, as well as Mos Eisley. Tomorrow will be the original trilogy maps, Hoth, Endor, Yavin 4, and Death Star 2, and Sunday will be the 4 sequel-era maps, Crate, Jakku, Starkiller Base, and Takodana. In the exact same way, each mode will have its own rotation of maps on each day, so if you aren't getting to play on a particular map you like, it may in fact not be in the rotation, so definitely check out that dev post to make sure you know which maps you will be playing on. In this same post, Ben Walk goes on to state that a change is coming to both Blast and Strike modes, which will make it so that these modes will operate on a 1-round basis as opposed to 2. Many players had a complaint with Blast after the Hero Starfighters update, which gave Blast an additional round before switching maps, so each side could experience the different troops on each faction. This caused the map rotation to slow down by about half, and it seemed like most players weren't too happy about it. This feature is understandable in Galactic Assault, since each side has a fundamentally different playing experience in that mode, one being attacking and the other defending. Blast, though, is basically the same game no matter what team you're on, so progressing through the maps is more important than getting to experience each side, I think. This is now official confirmation that Blast will go back to a 1-round basis, and Strike will also be joining it. And finally, the last bit of news is more of an announcement. The Star Bazaar is now on Discord with our own server, and I personally invite everybody to join. After streams, we hang out, talk about some Star Wars or whatever else, or if you just want to chat for a bit, feel free to stop on by whenever. I will have a link for it in the description and in the top pinned comment, so feel free to check it out. Huge shout out to my boy Max Hughes for getting that set up for me. I'm pretty illiterate when it comes to Discord, but he was kind enough to help out with it, so big thank you to Max. That will bring this news update to a close. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about the changes coming to the squad system and about this new matchmaking test. General Grievous is now just over 2 weeks away, so my hope is that they have matchmaking figured out by then and that the squad system will perform as expected with the Grievous update. I appreciate you all stopping by the bazaar. This has been your boy, Turkish Delight, and I will see you all out on the battlefront. Peace. They come in a herd. It's why this little Betty spaghetti petty pathetic and unethical woman is none of my concern. But heartbreak can't take your universe and shake it like an earthquake.